So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am back again with a new one. And today's topic will be not about thinking, not a technical terminologies, the jargons, but it will be something, we'll be talking about something that you hear every often and you hear this term every time. And the term is the thing we are talking about today will be revealed in a moment when we go through this speech, when you go through this um, monologue. Okay, so let me begin with a simple moment. A 17-year-old student is sitting on his bed at night. Admission forms are open on his laptop. One tab says engineering, another says business. His parents prefer one option, his friends are choosing another. His heart is leaning somewhere else. He keeps staring at the screen. Nothing is wrong, nothing is urgent, but everything feels heavy. The moment is decision making. Sorry, there's something bad in my throat. So let's take some sip of water. So basically, what is happening here is a person is confused between the two stream, and it's often basically the scene of the students who have just passed his secondary school and who is going to be admitted in plus 2 or in the higher secondary level, no. So that's the thing, and he was confused between the engineering or the other subjects. It may be the management or the commerce, anything, or the doctor side. So he is confused between the two, not only two options, but from inside he really wants to choose another. He has another feelings, he has another options in his own self. So the thing is, parents wants him to choose either, let's say, engineering. His friends, all of his friends are insisting him to choose the biology, to be a doctor faculty. Sorry, but from inside he is really wanting to go to the business faculty. So that's the scenario of this moment, no. So no one is telling him to be to do this to choose within this time frame. No one is asking him, nothing is urgent, but the decision the decision he makes today or tomorrow will save his entire future. That's the thing. It seems that he has a lot of decisions, he has a lot of time, so it may not be that much difficult for him. But no, it is very heavy decision. That's the thing. He's feeling very heavy. And all of this moment is the process of decision making. Now we'll be seeing, will he choose one faculty that his parents love, or is this one that his friends insisted, or the other, his own option. So now sip the scene. A 35 years old professional is sitting in a parked car outside his office. Now he has received a job letter from another company. Higher salary, different city, new risk. He looks at the steering wheel and thinks, should I stay where I am comfortable or should I move? So it is again the decision making. I think you got the whole point about the next scenario. And in the next scenario, a person is like somewhere, let's say in Goa. He's in Goa and he's in the winter vacation or the summer vacation, and he uh, during his park while he was parking the car somewhere near the beach, he got an email or a job offer for which he has to leave his hometown, let's say uh, Noida, to shift it to the Mumbai. So that's the thing. Now, the place where he is sitting uh, currently is very comfortable to him. He knows all the roads, all the people, and he is very comfortable in his own city. But the job letter wants him to be shifted in the next city where he has never been. This will be his first time, and that's for his job. The job he was wanting, he was like working day and night to get. For that job, will he be uh, will he decide to leave his city or not? So there is a stood scenario. If the person doesn't shift to Mumbai and lives in a comfortable place, or let's say uh, uh, he wants to be in a comfort zone, he might miss the most great opportunity to make him very proud and make him so satisfied with his life, and he has to spend all of his life doing the job he doesn't like. Or another options or another scenario is he choose the job, but he has to leave all the things behind, the Noida, the comfort zone, and he has to shift to the honor city and uh, learn to adapt there, adapting the new environment. Yeah, it takes time, it is very hard, but that will lead him to get and work uh, in the job that he was working day and night. That's the thing. So anything that's uh, you have the two or more options in that time. This is known as the decision making phase. So this was also a decision making. Now another scene is a 10-year-old child stands in a small shop holding two chocolates. He has money for one. He has money for only one. He thinks carefully and chooses one. Even that is decision making. You see, this thing is very small. No, choosing from outside, from the moms or from the other perspective, from the second person perspective, it is very common and it is very small thing for them. That doesn't matter him. That doesn't seems like decision making. No, but for a small boy, that's very difficult. He wants the two chocolates. He has options for two chocolates, and he also likes both very coyly. So he is confused to get one or to get the another. So in that phase, you will have the options and you can't figure it out what to buy and what not to, because you like both equally, and with the money you have you can only buy one. So that is also the decision making. That's also the decision making. For age 10 to 40 and beyond, life is not just about events, it's about choices. And the quality of life often reflects the quality of our decisions. Today, we are talking about decision making, not as theory, not as complicated management, Tom, but as a daily life skill that shapes who we become. Yeah, this is a very important skill that will shape our entire future. It is a small decision taken in a moment, but taking that decision in a moment will uh, work as a chain, no, to the future. It will have a chain. Each and every decision that is made in each and every event will be connected and connected and connected, and it will be ultimately connected to the future. That's the thing. So let me give you a second example. You have options. You have 100 rupees, and you have the options to buy the fruits or to buy the momo. You know from inside, momo is junk food, and I have been eating momo every time. It is not good for my health. And another options is to buy fruits, buy some salad and something healthy. So you decide to choose. You have two options, but with the money you have, you can only choose one. So one day you buy fruits or salad. Next day you have also a phase of decision making whether to buy samosa or the other healthy things. You will buy the healthy. Next day, healthy, healthy, healthy. The decision you make daily will be entirely connected to the future, and the consequences is you have a healthy body and you don't have to waste a lot of money, your savings, to the hospital bill. That's the thing. It might seem a small decision for a moment now, but it will ultimately, but the change of the decisions you make every time will lead to the future. That the decision you make today will shape you tomorrow. So that's the power of decision making. So decision making is the ability to choose one path among many other, thinking about consequences, values, and goals. So decision making all about choosing one from the options, the optimal solutions. You have multiple questions, you have the multiple choices, but among that choices, choosing the best one. No matter what is the consequences of one and the other, you have to choose one. That's a rule of decision making. So it sounds simple. I already told you it sounds simple. Choose one and move. But in reality, it feels complex because every choice closes some doors and opens the other. Yeah, this is the true. Like in the previous example of the choosing between the healthy food and the junk food, um, he has a lot of like he has a lot of healthy options choose for the 7 days. Now he will have the craving to eat this junk food, so he will be missing his junk food. That will be his the door that closes. But the door he has opened is he don't have to spend his future in the hospital bed, and he don't have to spend a lot of his savings to the hospital. So that's the thing. The decision you make will open some door and the closes another. That's the rule of life. So let's understand something clearly. Every single day you make hundreds of decisions: what to wear, what to eat, whether to reply to a message now or later, whether to study or scroll. Most of these are small, but some decisions carry weight. Career choices, relationship choices, financial choices, and health choices. That's what matters the most. Those bigger decisions influence years of life. So, uh, for a moment, this decision you make today feels like there is nothing happening if I choose wrong decision today, if I decide wrong today. But that chain will be shifting to the next day, next day, next day, next day, and ultimately that decision will be having a big impact in the life, and you will and seeing back you will be realizing that it all started with a single decision you make one day, and it's your choice to choose the right one or the wrong one, the healthy options or the unhealthy options. That's the choice. And there are words in not every decisions is that much important, but there are some decisions that will carry a lot of weight, that has the potential to shift or rewrite your future entirely based on your decisions. That is like the career choices or the relationship choices or the financial choices or your health choices. So think about it. So those bigger decisions influence our years of life. So how do we make it better? How can we make the better and the best decision for ourselves? So first, let's understand the difference between reaction and decision. So a reaction is fast and emotional. Someone insults you and you responded instantly with anger. That's a reaction. The decision involves pause and you ask, what will happen if I respond this way? What is the long term reason? Decision making requires awareness. So, we have talked about the difference between the reaction and the decision. Um, Reaction is replying. If someone says something bad to you, you instantly reply very angrily, like you say something bad to them, and later when you go home and you realize, and when your anger settle down, you will realize I should not have talked to him like that. And after having those after giving the reaction, and you will be reflecting back and you will realize I should not have done this and I should not have done that. That is very mm, that don't work. That is the part of reaction, and it is not good. So the very good thing is to decide in the moment. When someone says bad to you, let's pause. It's not urgent to reply him back instantly. Your aura will not go down. Remember this. There is nothing about aura. So let's pause and ask, what will happen if I speak to him like this? Pause, at least for 5 to 10 seconds, and reply with a calm mind. Don't reply instantly with an anger. Settle yourself down, and reply responsibly. The only thing you must understand in that, remember in that phase, is you can disagree. That's your right, but never disrespect. That's the mantra. That must be the mantra during the argument. So, decision making requires awareness. Consider social media. A teenager sees friends posting pictures of new phone. There is a pressure. The mind says, I also need it. But the thoughtful decisions ask, do I need it? Or do I just want to feel included? That small pause saves many money and stress. So this is a very nice thing about decision making. You don't react instantly. You will pause and ask the meaningful and the most needed questions to yourself. Like in the example I gave you recently, is it is really you want that phone, the new model iPhone, or the real thing is you want to flex in the social media to the other friends. What is the actual need? Why do you want that new model? If you really want this, if you don't have any other phone, or if the phone is not working well, that you have currently have, yeah, in that time it you can consider buying that. But if you have something, if what the intention matters, when the intention is to flex and to show off, that might not be a best decision to make. So having said that, this is bad, this is wrong, this is right, I does it all from my perspective. I don't know about yours. So you have to think for yourself. Think and ask question to yourself and make optimal decisions for you. So that's the point. Real world applications is everywhere. Let's talk about career decisions again. Many students choose courses because friends are choosing them. It's very common. After passing SC in Nepal, after passing 10 class, you will you will have to choose one. You have one important decisions. It's also called the golden gate. Okay, my father used to tell about this is a golden gate, and bachelor is the diamond gate. That's the thing. So you have important decisions to make. Either to choose the biology, either to choose the computer, either to choose the management, law, business, anything. But you have to make the decisions, and that has very important weight in your life. So, so during the decision phase, don't make a decision based on the insist of the friends or the pressure from the family. Choose wisely and ask yourself and ask your parents a question. Why do you want me to choose this course? Or choose or ask yourself, why what is the thing that I should be enrolling that will make my life better, satisfied, and more importantly, I will be happy learning about that. I'll be happy enrolling in that faculty. That's the thing. How will it impact in my life? Question it. And based on the answer, choose the optimal options. So let's talk about the Korean decision. Many students choose courses based on the friends are choosing them, or because society says one field is prestigious. But years later, they feel disconnected from their work. This is very important to think. A better decision process includes asking questions like, what are my strengths? What type of problem do I enjoy solving? What industries are growing? And where do I see myself in 5 years? These are the most important and the common questions that you will be asking yourself while choosing the career, especially in the 10 or you when you are choosing the bachelor degree, bachelor faculty. These are the most important questions that will help you to make the better decisions. I'm not saying you the best decisions, but the better decisions. That's the thing. And yeah, many people think this is overthinking, but it's not. This is thoughtful decision making. So don't be afraid of asking yourself the question, those uncomfortable questions. And that uncomfortable questions will give you the answer that will make you comfortable. Not today, but in the coming days. That's the thing. In the workplace, decision happens daily. A manager decides whether to promote someone, an employee decides whether to speak in the meeting, an entrepreneur decides whether to launch a product. So, with this, we found that not every person doesn't have the same type of decision to make. It, the decisions, the level of decision will be increases based on the post. The post, the the higher the post, the higher decisions he has to make, the higher priority or the higher responsibility. With high responsibility, he has to make a decision. So I think you got the point. Um, if you are in the small post, the decision you make might not have that much weightage than your manager decides, and the manager and the weightage of the decision that your manager will make will be less than the decision that the entrepreneur with the high risk they will make. So that's the thing. With the increased power, there's an increased responsibility and there's an increased weightage of your decisions. So, for example, so every person have their own different type of decisions to make. So that's the thing we have to know. For example, when entrepreneurs build startups, they constantly decide between speed and quality, between spending and saving, between expansion and stability. Those decisions shape the future of the company. So, entrepreneurs start building a startup. So, they have the multiple questions or they have the multiple choices to decide to make his company a successful one. He has to choose between the speed or the quality, or the spending or the saving. He has to spend on this or he have to save his money. He doesn't have to spend this money here, and he can spend that money to the other better one. So he has to choose between the spending and the saving, between the expansion or the stability. It's about the scalability, not scalable. Whether you want to scale in the more place, or you don't, you want the stability and you don't want to take that risk. That's the thing. And talking about the risk, we all we hear this statement like, if you don't take risk, you will fall behind. But that is also the relative one. Not every risk is equally important to be taken. No, so you have to choose between the stability or the expansion. Those decisions shape the future of the company, and that's huge. This is a very important decision he has to make. So for this, he should not rely on the reaction. He should be relying on the question. He has to ask the better question to himself to get the answer and to decide with better options, choosing the better options. Even in relationships, decision making matters deeply. Even in relationships, decision making matters deeply. When there is misunderstanding, one people decide to argue, the another decides to communicate calmly. One choices increases actions, the other builds connection. So here is talking about the two type of people in the same relationship, having the same relationship. Like let's say a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they have an argument in something. So the girlfriend is arguing, this is because of you, you haven't, you should not have done this, you should not have done that, and you, I will it is very discomfort, this is very embarrassing. He's like reacting to the situation and he is not thinking calmly, and he is not asking him herself a question: is this the thing I should be talking about, or I should be talking about the things uh, that will connect us more? Am I trying to make our relationship far or the close? But there is the other person. The girlfriend is relying on the reaction, and the here is a boyfriend who don't argue with her. He questions him. He questions himself. What if I rely on the reaction? What if I will be angry to her? Will this be the better decisions to make for our uh, relationship? If he respect the relationship, he will choose a calm approach. He will not best react angrily like the girlfriend did. So that's the thing we should all remember in every phase of the life. You have the decision to make in each sector, each aspects. So it's all upon you. Do you rely on the reaction, the instant reaction, without questioning yourself, and without knowing about the consequences, and without realizing that you will be regretting in the future about the decision or the reactions you did currently will matter the most. The regret is something that is very uncomfortable. That's the thing. So one increases the distance between the relationships, and the other builds the connection. So decision making is not all. It's not only about logic. It includes emotion, values, and context. Now let us talk about the common problem. Many people struggle not because they choose wrongly, but because they delay choosing. They keep waiting for perfect clarity, but clarity often comes from action. So, Pakawai, so um, if when I talk about asking you yourself a question, people often like uh, um, they often delay themselves to decide by asking the nonsense question. So you must be wise enough to figure it out that whether am I uh, asking the better question or the nonsense question that doesn't have any words, that doesn't need asking. So many people struggle not because they decide wrongly, but they delay deciding. They keep waiting for the perfect clarity, the perfect timing. But to be real, clarity often comes from the action. That's it. Um, Indecision creates stress. Yes, the decision creates direction. So think about exam. Students keep thinking, should I start studying now or later? This is a very important one for the students especially. 2 hours pass, stress increases. The moment the student decide, I will study from 1 hour now, for 1 hour now, energy shifts from the stress to the action. So the inaction is the stress, and the action is the contradict the stress. It gives the power. Let us understand how to make the best decision in the practical way. The first step is clarity of goal. If you don't know what do you want, every options look confusing. If your goal is financial stability, your choices will differ from someone with the goal of is whose goal is creative freedom. The second step is understanding consequences. Ask yourself, if I continue these choices for 5 years, where I will be. For example, Choosing daily junk food may feel small, but 5 years later, health changes. Choosing regular exercise may feel hard at first, hard at the beginning, or hard at the moment you are doing the physical activity, but in long term, it creates a strength. That's the thing. That's the weight is of the decision you do every day. You have to think about it. The third step is gathering information without drowning in it. In today's world, information is unlimited. You can read reviews, watch videos, ask friends, but too much information creates paralysis. You will be in the position where you don't want to do any action. And I already told you the clarity comes from the action. When you feed yourself with the unnecessary extra information, you will be paralyzed. Good decision makers collect the relevant information and then move forward. The fourth step is aligning with values. Suppose you are offered a job with high salary but poor work culture. If you value peace and family time, the job may create long-term dissatisfaction. A decision aligned with values bring inner satisfaction and the stability in his life, and he will be confident in in himself or herself, and satisfaction will be stopped at its peak. Now let's talk about real life financial decision. Many young adults receive their first salary and feels excited. They spend most of his lifestyle upgrades. Another person saves a portion and invests. 10 years later, the difference between becomes visible. The decision at 25 shapes the comfort at 35. So the decision is all about your choices that you make today. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, today. Now. That's the thing. Health decisions are also powerful. Choosing sleep over late night scrolling improves energy. Choosing home cooked food over the fast food improves long term well being. Small daily habits compounds into big results. There's also an emotional side to the decision making. Fear plays a role. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of missing out, FOMO. Recognizing fear helps in making balanced choices. Again, so sometimes people avoid decisions because they worry about making mistakes. Yeah, when I talk about the clarity the action comes to clarity, that's the thing what I am talking about. When don't take the action, you don't have any information with what will happen with this. So in that phase, when you get mistakes, you will learn. You will become more clear about it. That's the thing what I am talking about. Do actions and learn from the mistake if you do mistakes, and don't and be ready to bounce back. Sometimes people they worry about making mistakes, but mistakes are the part of learning. They are the part of being clear. A decision teaches more than endless thinking. This is an interesting reality. Many successful people are not those who never made mistakes. They are those who made decisions, learned quickly, and adjusted. Decision making also improves with experience. A, a 10-year-old deciding between chocolates uses simple reasoning. A 20 years old deciding about college uses more information. A 40 years old deciding about investment uses past experience. Growth expands perspective. So let's imagine a scenario relatable to many. A young professional receives two offers. One is stable with a moderate salary, the other is risky but offers growth. Instead of choosing randomly, she writes down pros and cons. She considers her financial responsibilities. She evaluates her risk tolerance. She thinks about her long-term goal. Then she chooses confidently. Even if challenges comes later, she feels at peace because the decision is thoughtful. That is the mature decision making. So, in leadership, decision making becomes even more important. A leader's choice affects many people. That is why leaders consult team, analyze data, and consider consequences carefully. That's the thing I have talked about. With the increased power, there will be increased weightage in the decision that you make. But in personal life, you are the leader of your own journey. Every decision sends your life in a direction. Now, here's something powerful. Not deciding is not a decision. If you do not choose your career intentionally, circumstances may choose it for you. If you do not choose your habits intentionally, convenience will choose them. So conscious decision making gives power back to you. Let me share a small framework that anyone from age 10 to 40 can use. Pause, think about the goal. Consider consequences, seek alignment with values, decide, take action, review, and learn. The cycle builds confidence. Over time, decision making becomes less stressful because you trust your process. The moral of the speech is simple and strong. Your life is shaped less by big events and more by the daily decisions. Every day you every day you vote for the person you are becoming through your choices. When you decide with awareness, clarity, and courage, you design your future. When you delay endlessly and follow blindly, you drift. From choosing a subject to choosing a job to choosing a friends to choosing habits, decision making is quite force behind success and peace. So next time you face a choice, whether small or big, do not rush and do not freeze. Pause, reflect, and choose consciously. Because in the end, your decision writes your story, and this is your decision that will either make the story of your life worth reading and worth inspiring other people, or it will not that much worth to be listened by yourself. So think about it, and I hope you will write the best story for yourself. And I will be meeting you in the next one. Till then, bye. I'm Alsa Bros.